Hi, welcome. In this tutorial video, I'll show you how counselors can connect with students in Microsoft Teams. Just to share with you, this pathway is only for you as counselors, for students interacting with you in Microsoft Teams. For teachers, we're showing them a different pathway. So we're encouraging teachers to use Schoology Conferences. It's a video conferencing tool built right within their courses and a great way for them to connect with their whole class. But we do see the need as counselors, you need to do that more one-to-one communication, and Teams is going to be a really good option for you. Also, I'm going to show you in this video how you can share out this team meeting with Microsoft Outlook email to the students. And I'm also going to show you a pathway for how to send it mobile and a text message to students using a feature called Google Voice that I'll show you in the video how to set that up. Just know that we're only encouraging text messaging, the mobile pathway for students in high school that you're interacting with. So we do not encourage that pathway for those students that you're interacting with not in high school. So we would encourage only the email method that you'll see for students that are younger than the high school 9-12 grade levels. Also, in this video, I'll show you how to create that Teams meeting, how to send it out in email, where students go to check on that and join it. And then I'll show you the mobile side and text messaging side using Google Voice, show you how to set that up. It's a really neat feature. It still keeps your personal phone number private, but you can still make phone calls and send text messages out with that to the students. As this is new for you all, this will be new for the students, how they're going to be interacting and communicating with you too. So you may have to guide them on them to check their email and how they're going to do that. You may have to guide them also how do they use the text messaging link that you would send them for just the high school students and the app they'll need to download for Microsoft Teams before they'll be able to join you in that Teams meeting. So all of that you will need to kind of guide them as you first get started to do this as well. All right, the first thing we're going to do is create that Teams meeting, what you can share with your student. And how you do that is off of the district's website, the mcsforkids.com. You have that staff tab at the top, and you have staff applications. So where we're going is Office 365 right here online. That's where you can check your email online as well. And it might ask you to sign in, just your district email address and computer password to sign in. So where I would go is right here just to the calendar to create this Teams meeting. Just click on calendar. And then in the top left-hand corner, click the new event right here. And then you're going to add the title. So you can give it the title that you like. So you can give it a title. You might title is something that you're going to recognize on the calendar. So you might start it out with, the student's last name, first name, or some kind of title that you would recognize easy when you look at your own calendar once you create these different events. Then you're going to pick the day right here that you want to have that counseling session. And you pick the time, so you just use these little drop downs, and you can pick the different times here. Let's say it was 9:45. You can also adjust it in here. So you can um, type in what the time is as well. And it will kind of adjust on the end time here. Don't worry too much. That's more for you and your calendar that you're holding this event. It doesn't actually mean when the actual Teams meeting will start and end on you. You and the student will join the Teams meeting at the time that you're saying it's starting. And then just being mindful of your time and the student's time that you said it would end to end the meeting. But that's just kind of more information for you and the student on your calendar when that will happen. Then the next thing is you're going to click where it says online meeting right here. And you're going to choose you want to do a Teams meeting. And then that is it. So then you click save right up here. The next step you're going to have to do is go back to that meeting on your calendar. So here I can see it. So I'm going to double click on it and it's going to open back up. And then what I see here is the actual join link right here. One thing before we get this join link that we see here is underneath, you're going to want to click where it says meeting options. So if we click meeting options, it's going to open up a new window, and this is where you can choose who to bypass. So you're going to want to choose this drop down and choose everyone, because students, if you're sending out the email to them, they're clicking on a link, or even on their mobile device in a text message that you send and they click on the link, they won't be able to sign in with their district account. They'll just be coming in as a guest. So you want them to come in without being in a lobby. And again, you're only sharing that link with that student, so that's who will be in it. Who can present? It's going to be a good idea that only you say only me. So only you have the controls within this team meeting. They're just guests that are coming in to meet with you. So you want to set that and click save. And this just stays as its own open tab. You just click that off and you can close that out. All right, the next thing is in this calendar invite is this part right here. So you can highlight it and copy it if you like to. You can also right click on it, and I would choose copy the link address. That's getting the actual website address. All right, so now you gotta decide how is the best way to get this link to that student. Do you have a habit or relationship right now? You're using Outlook email? Then fantastic. In Outlook email, you would just go to your Outlook here, and then you would create a new message. So then in the body of your email, you can type your message, and then you can even say a message. And then you just paste the link, and then you can see it there. And that's perfectly fine to close out the little preview box that came here. And then they can click that. Another way that you can get fancy is you can highlight text right here. And then on your toolbar at the bottom, if you click this button, looks like two little chain links. If you click that, it lets you paste it into this box right here and click OK. And it means that the words themselves will become the link, which is kind of nice. It kind of cleans up that message. Either way is okay. Put your subject. The to field for a student is their student ID number at monet.k12.ca.us. Again, if that's the method that you're currently in habits with, the students know to check their email, then that's a perfectly fine way to send that to them. If you have your own method that you're communicating with the student, then that's where you would put the link that you got from the Teams meeting. If you're using, a messaging tool like Remind, or if you have another way to get a hold of the students, you just need a way to send that link to them so they can click it to join you. So if that is a habit for students to check their own email, how they get to the Office 365 email is on the web. They can either on the district's website, there's a student applications, and they'll be able to click Office 365. They just log in with their student ID number at monet.k12.ca.us and their district password. And then they'll get your email, and then they'll be able to click on the link that you provide in the email to join as a guest right there off the web. Also, just to share with you on their own school site website, it's the same thing, just students at the top. We go students and then student applications, and they have Office 365 as well there. So they definitely can get to it off of that way. Just you might have to give them a little guidance on how they might check their email if they haven't done that with you before. So be mindful if they're 13 years or under, you just want to do this email method with them. This is the safest place that you can do that with. If you are working with students who are over 13, let's say high school, they're grades 9 through 12, then the next part with the mobile message text messaging is another way you can communicate with them. And then I would only advise the text messaging and the mobile pathway for the high school students. So that tool, Google Voice, will look like this once you get set up. On the left-hand side, you can do messages. So you can click the plus sign to send a new message. You put it who it's to, the phone number, and then you just click to send it to that phone number. So you would type your message here at the bottom. You can right click and paste, and you can put in that web link. Just make sure you have a space there where the link starts and ends. And then you just click send right here in the corner. And that's going to send them that message. And then they're going to get a text message with that info, and then they can click that link. So let's see what it looks like for a student to click that link and join it on that day. Students will need to download the Microsoft Teams app, and this can be in their Android or Apple iPhone in their app stores. They'll look for Microsoft Teams here, and they want to get that and install that on their device. All right, once students have downloaded the app, then when they click on the link in the text message you send them, it's going to work. So the text message, you might want to give a little context to yourself, a little introduction. This is a counselor, your name, so they know that it's coming from you. They might not recognize that Google Voice number yet at first, so you might want to give a little introduction to at least your first text message. When they click on the link, it's going to open up Teams for them to join. So they'll open up the app. Students only click that join as guest button when the app opens from the link that you sent them. So they click join as guest, they click OK to turn on their microphone, and then they just put in their name and click join meeting, and they'll be joining you in your Teams meeting as a guest. In the app itself, students can turn and off their webcam. They can also turn on and off their mic right here with this button. They can also increase or lower the volume of the audio. They can end the meeting with that button when they're all done with you. And at the very top right hand corner, that's where they get to the chat. And you can also do some chatting within this application as well, which is pretty cool. So on that day, you are going to go to your Outlook calendar in Office 365 here. And for you to join it as the counselor, you're just going to click on the meeting event. And then you just click Join Teams Meeting right here. And then you just click Open Teams. If you don't have the app installed, then it's okay to join on the web instead right here. But if you happen to have the Teams app already installed on the device, then it just click Open in Teams. So I'll click Join on the web instead. And then you get two options here. You do not have to turn on your webcam. It's off by default for you and the student. The microphone is on by default. You may click that to turn it off initially or click it to turn it on. Right here is the settings gear. That's where you can kind of choose what microphone are you using, what web camera would you want to use. We do encourage that students only use their microphone. We don't want to encourage students to be using the webcam, especially for these one-to-one type meetings, but audio is okay, and it's up to you as a counselor if you want them to see you. And then you click Join Now. And you'll be in the meeting, and you can get there early if you want, like, 5 minutes or a little bit before the start time might be good to kind of space out your calendar to kind of get into these meetings waiting for the students, or you arrive right at the time you said with the appointment with the student. Again, you still have the toolbar right here, so you can click the camera on or off, the microphone on and off. This is right here where you can start a chat, and the chat will show up on the right-hand side for you and the student. Sometimes that chat button shows up, sometimes it doesn't. If it does not, you just have to restart Teams and join the meeting again, and it usually appears back again. And then this is how to see who is in the meeting. So you can click this, so you can make sure it's just you and that one student that are in the meeting, that are in there. And then this is how to hang up or end the meeting right here. You may, as a counselor, share your screen. So you would click share. There's a couple things you could share out. You can share your screen or desktop or window that they would see your computer screen. So you might have something already prepared and up before you get into the meeting. You can browse for any PowerPoint that you want to show. if you have a slide deck you want to show in PowerPoint. And there is a whiteboard. This is a collaborative whiteboard. It's just, a big open virtual space that you can plan on, draw on, write on, um, that you also have available. And then you just click this button to stop sharing again. So you click that and you'll stop sharing. Um, and then, so you're in here, you don't see anyone else. So let me show you what happens when the student joins. Once the student joins, you'll see that they joined in. Again, you have that participation button to see participants, and you can see who's in it and what student is there joining you. You do have that chat button as well that you can chat. Just be mindful, any chats before the student join, they won't see. So just be careful of adding chats before they get there. But once you do add a chat, you can do that here within the Teams meeting. The student will see they'll be able to respond with chat within the Teams app as well. And then when you're ready to end the meeting, all you have to do is on your toolbar, move your mouse around a little bit, and you'll get the end meeting button there to leave the meeting, and you can end it. Another option I just want to put out there to share is phone calls, the audio, a part of the connection and communication with the students. And since we're distance learning, social distancing, and we're at homes, you might want to be mindful calling on your personal phone or mobile device for that personal phone number with connecting with students. So I do have an idea, which we're using here in our EdTech team for teachers to reach out to them, and it's called Google Voice. So if we if you go to Google and you Google Google Voice, it's the first website. It's pretty much just voice.google.com. You could go to as well. So a Google Voice is you can create a personal phone number, even with the area code, which is pretty neat. And then it has apps that you put on your actual mobile phone. And so then when someone tries to call it, the app will pop up, and just like your regular phone, like the phone feature, for you to answer and talk, or you could use the app to call out from. So it's pretty neat service. So you'll need a Google account to create your Google Voice. Our district Google accounts do not work for this. This is not one of the applications that's turned on within our Google accounts in our district. So what I recommend is creating a new Google account or Gmail. So to create a new email, you're going to want to Google create Gmail. And it's pretty much right here. I'll click on the first link, and it has the button right here, create an account. So when you click on it, it comes to this web address. It's accounts.google.com in a way where it's going for you to create it. So you can use your name. The username, you might want to be somewhat creative for how we're using it. So I'm going to try this one. So I put in my last name, Distance Learning, as the account name. And you get to create your own password. Remember your password for this. And then once you got that in, just go ahead and click Next. And then you're going to need to put in your mobile phone. That's how it verifies that you're really you who's signing into this. And that's okay. That phone number won't be used. You can put an optional email, your personal email if you wanted. Your birthday, you just have to be 13 years or older for the federal law for creating accounts online. Go ahead and choose your gender and click Next. And then it's going to send you a text message just to verify it's you to put in a code. So have your mobile device handy. And you type in that code in the text box. Remember, this code was sent to you in a text message to find and enter here. And then click Verify. And then it's going to ask you if you want to involve that phone number. I'm going to skip that. I'm not going to say I'm in for that. I just want to use it as the backup phone number for the account. So I'm going to click Skip. And then you scroll down, agree to the privacy and terms. And then you're in. So now you can go to that Google Voice website. So we'll go to google.com and we'll search Google Voice. And now we can click it at the top, and it's going to be for personal use here. And you can choose how you want to use it. You can start with the web, which is fine. And then you can download it for Android or iOS, and you would just sign in with that Google Gmail account you just created and the password you just created. And then you click continue. And then it wants to know the city you're in. And then it gives you a list of possible phone numbers you could have. And these are the ones, it's doing the area code. So you can choose which one you want to use. So you might want to choose one you might like the numbers to, or they mean something to you. So I'm going to choose this one right here. And then it says to verify. So at this point, it wants to know the student or the parent or whoever you share this Google Voice number is. When they call it, where is it really behind the scenes going through? So I'm going to use my cell phone. I want that call to still come in on my own cell phone. That's where I want to answer it. So I put my real cell phone address. Again, think of Google Voice as the middle person in this whole conversation. Student calls as Google Voice. Google Voice behind the scenes rings on your mobile device, um, which is kind of neat. And then go ahead and claim the number and click finish. And then it's all yours. So now what you want to do is make sure you download the app for your mobile device. If you have Android, go to the Google Play Store, search for a Google Voice app. Remember, download it, sign in with that Google account you just created now into it and the password. If you're Apple, iOS, iPhone, again, go to the Apple App Store on your device, download Google Voice app. Remember to sign in with the new account you just created and the password into it. So it's really cool the things that you can do even on the web. This is very similar to what the app will offer as well. On the right hand side, you can just type in a phone number, click this to call it. You can have a dial pad here, a keypad to dial it as well. It would use your computer mic and speakers, and you can always adjust those settings with this icon here. On the left-hand side, you'll see calls, which is this pane right here. It'll be all your history of your calls. You can do text messaging to people through the Google Voice, which is pretty neat. And it even has voicemail. So if someone called your Google Voice number and they didn't reach you, it would leave a voicemail in here. You may create your own personalized voicemail in here as well, or use the default. To do that, in the top right-hand corner, click on the settings gear. And then over on the left-hand side, lots of different settings you might want to walk through to look at. But if you click on voicemail, you have right here to record your own greeting. Now you may play the default greeting and you may like it, or you can record your own right within the app.